This is the warning. It is July 23rd, 2024. There are 104 days left until the American people decide who will be the 47th president of the United States. 27 days remain until the beginning of the Democratic National Convention. Kamala Harris is off to a very strong start. This is exactly how you lay a glove on Donald Trump.
I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Let's talk about the state of the race. Donald Trump has gone from being absolutely certain to be elected president to having a real contest on his hands. But the reality is it's basically a tie race. Kamala Harris is very much in it. She can win the race. Now, there is a lot of praise for Joe Biden in this moment. The truth of the matter is this. Joe Biden has stepped away from power. He has fulfilled an implicit promise he made when he was running for president in 2020, but he fulfilled that promise very late. There are two finite commodities in a political campaign. One is time, one is money. The truth is, the presumptive nominee, Kamala Harris, will not be hurt by a lack of money. Kamala Harris raised $81 million in her first day atop the ticket. The truth of the matter is, support has coalesced around Kamala Harris, bottom up and top down. She is the leader of the Democratic Party, and history and fate have chosen her to be the person who stands in the center of the ring against an American fascist in 2024 who must defend America's democracy. She must do it with a great deal of toughness. Here is why Joe Biden had to leave the race, because it had become about him and he had forfeited honesty because his capacity, which the American people were told over and over and over again, was perfect. He was the wisest in the land, had clearly diminished, and everybody could see it. And a great many Democrats responded to that by saying there was something wrong with the voters, as opposed to something very deeply dishonest going on. When the race became solely about Biden and Democrats lost honesty, Trump went ahead. There is a simple truth about this race that makes it very, very easy to understand. Whomever it is about will lose, period. The test for Kamala Harris right now is to take liabilities and turn them into assets. For example, her laugh is made fun of. Use the laugh to make fun of Trump, and your laugh won't be so much the focus anymore. Laughing at Trump will be. And by the way, her laugh isn't half as weird as this guy's maniacal laugh.
I love you guys.
Now, let's watch the menace and the insanity of the Republican Party. Here is an Ohio state senator.
I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country.
What a complete and total disgrace. Ohio was a union state. Ohio men bled and died in astounding numbers so that the United States could be preserved. And there, this idiot is talking about killing. This is what these people mean when they talk about some people need killing. Trumpism, fascism, is violence. This is the preface to the violence. It is a violent movement. It is a violent party. How are they reacting to Kamala Harris as the presumptive Democratic nominee? Let's watch Trump maniac, Goebbels of the MAGA movement, Stephen Miller, losing it on Fox News.
They held a primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden.
For the first time in a long time, the Democratic Party has the ball again. The script has been flipped. It has been wiped away. All of the resources necessary to win will be at hand, but there must be a victory worth having. Kamala Harris must enunciate a vision for the future. And the simple truth is she's about to be tested. She's going to be hit hard. She's going to be smeared, and she needs to brush it off. She needs to laugh at it. And every day she needs to take the fight to Donald Trump and make the race about him. That's how you beat him. That's how you win. She must galvanize young people. She must swim in the cultural currents. Kamala Harris must laugh at old man Trump. She must laugh at his foolishness and incoherence and bluster and idiocy and decrepitude. Look at him. He's falling apart. One thing that has struck me is how many people suddenly believe that since Joe Biden is out of the race, that they have the credibility suddenly to say that Donald Trump is too old after vigorously defending the Biden candidacy until 72 hours ago and telling the American people that they weren't seeing what they were clearly seeing. They should stop talking about age because it's painful to watch their credibility further immolate. I'm not one of those people. I've been consistent about this for an extremely long time, about the urgent moral necessity for generational change. I said that Joe Biden was too old. I said that Joe Biden should run for one term 2 years ago. It would have been better if he did that. We could have seen a competition among the next generation of Democratic candidates, but that didn't happen, and the party is weaker for it. But the party has not lost the race yet because of it. That's important. During these days ahead, the race must be, once again, about the only issue that matters, and that issue is Trump. He's a dangerous fascist, a menace, a man who's threatened violence and retribution, and like his idiot acolyte from Ohio threatening civil war, we must tell these people no. We must say to them, how dare you? How dare you threaten me? Threaten my children and my family. I'm sick of it, and so should all of you be. This is the warning. Kamala Harris is off to a very strong start. She has the ball, and she hit Trump hard yesterday, and she has to do it again today, and again, and again, and again. The race must be about Trump. It is only about Trump. Kamala Harris is ready to be president of the United States. She has taken command of the Democratic Party, and she did it with authority, grace, and decisiveness. She's on center stage now, and the lights are shining on her. She's up for this. The country needs her to be up for it. The world needs her to be up for it. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.